Hey everyone, it's Suzanne from Anna's Flowers, showing everybody how to make their own DIY succulent bowl. So to start off, you want to make sure that you have all of your material here in front of you. What I have is these driftwood vessel, and because it does have holes and it's wood, so it can absorb water, just like if you were to have a basket at home. There is a way that you can use it without it absorbing all that water and without all the soil escaping. So I have my vessel, I have some plastic here, stones, all of my succulents, and soil, of course. So what I'm going to do to start, because like I said, this pot has a bunch of holes and it is wood, so it's going to absorb water. I'm going to line it with plastic. And then because I'm lining it with plastic, which is going to stop any water from being able to go out, I have stones here. So I'm going to dump the stones in the bottom, and then that's gonna give the water a place to sit without drowning out all those roots. So once my stones are in the bottom, I'm going to fill the soil. And when I'm doing a succulent dish, I always like to make sure that the soil is very compact. If it's loose and not patted down, while you're planting it, it's very easy to get all that soil all over the petals of the succulents. And then it's just hard to clean up at the end. So once I have my soil in, I'm going to cut off any of the extra plastic so you don't see it. You can use really anything. You want to make sure that it's a thick plastic. I've heard of people using garbage bags. I would prefer to use something a little bit thicker than that, just in case it gets a hole in it. You don't want your vessel rotting, or you don't want it to sit on a coffee table and damage it. So you want a nice thick plastic. So now that you can't see it anymore, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start picking which succulents I'm going to use. So when doing a planter, it's very important that you know the growth habits of the succulents that you're using. There's some that are going to be your center plant that's going to grow taller, some are going to spill over, some grow way faster than other ones, so you want to make sure that if you're doing a small little dish like I am, you don't want to pick succulents that are going to grow and outgrow your planter faster than anything else. So I'm going to start with my thriller plant, which is going to be your tallest plant. And you've got to think of where you're putting it also. So if you're putting it up against a wall, you're going to plant everything to the back of your planter. If you're going to put it in on a coffee table or in the center of a room, you're going to plant all your tallest plants in the center of your planter. So here I'm going to put it up against a wall. So my tallest plant is going to go to the back. These ones here, you can prune them if they get a little bit too tall. You just got to pluck off the top. And then from there, echeveria are really great. We use them all the time. And then I'm going to put everything tight to that center plant. So instead of spreading them out throughout the planter, there'll be a little bit of a gap towards the border of your pot. That's where you're going to add the stones. So everything is going to be very tight. You can also remove a little bit of the soil from your succulents. I'm just gonna get started. So that's how we make our succulent bowls here at Anna's Flowers. I want to touch on a couple care tips for you guys. A lot of people that don't have success with succulents, it's because of overwater. So a little tip that we have here, let the soil completely dry out and then evenly water it throughout. If you don't have a hole at the bottom, then all you want to do is make sure that that soil gets moist again. If you do have a hole at the bottom, then that water is going to be able to escape, and then again let it dry out and then water again. As for sun, if you keep it inside your house, you want to make sure that it's in a bright indirect window. If you have it in a dark corner, it might not thrive as well as you want it to. If you put it outside, you want to make sure that it is in full sun. They can go under a canopy, but you want to make sure that it gets that light. They do like the light. The other thing is when watering it, you want to make sure that you don't water from above. They don't like when water pools inside of the puddles. It can eventually rot them. If you have moss also, the moss can absorb that water. So you want to water each individual succulent by itself from underneath and then let the water go straight to the soil. Thanks everybody for watching our DIY succulent planter. If you have any questions, feel free to come into the store. There's a ton of vessels to choose from. We have all the material that you need, the succulents, the stones, everything that you need. So come in, ask us for help, and we can't wait to see you. Thank you, bye.